Hello and welcome. This is Nuclearmonkee, and this is a new video Let's Play of Dominions 5 multiplayer, Disciples. This is actually a game involving a bunch of the other people who have enough autistic tenacity to upload videos of Dominions 5 to YouTube. And we're all playing in a Disciple game together, which is a little funky, but I'll go over the details. I'm obviously tis the mighty lizards. I think they're widely considered to be the most powerful of the lizard man nations, with the Marshmasters and such. I am obviously a disciple. This is my disciple. So in disciple mode, you have teams essentially, and you've got one guy with a 3 or higher base Dominion chassis who is the god, and then everyone else is a disciple and gets a 2 or 1 strength Dominion chassis to choose from with a bunch of points to throw around. And you can see that's how we have this weird ass worm. And then you go ahead and kill each other. So I'm on Pan's team. Pan is the one true god. And there's Pan over there. Pan is played by Jay Brereton. And Pan is broken as fuck. So I'm sure... Actually, you know what? What normally happens when we play Disciple games is someone does something retarded and we get owned. So we'll see if that happens in this one too. But anyway, yeah, he's Pan. I am Lizards. Our Bless that we went with is this. So we've got Shock, Fire, Regen, Blood Vengeance, which is a slightly strange Bless because it doesn't seem too synergistic with what we've got. But if you look at Pretenders of the World... So we've got other teams, one of them being Mictlan and Nazca, so I assume there's going to be some fuckery Hellbless there, which that bless will come in handy against. Then there is Mary and Bandar Log stuck together. And then I'm forgetting the other teams. What was the other teams? Then we have Ashdod and Ulm, of course. So these two guys. I assume they're going to be scary. Pain, King of the Waves. I think, did they get Water 10 Meme Blast? That seems rather silly with Ulm. I doubt they took Water 10. That would be goofy. Anyway, we'll see. Maybe they did. Maybe they went full meme. That'd be funny. And then Ari Vanheim, Team Elf, which they do have the best combo here. My Little Pony, and then the other one, Vanheim, Tiny Pony Disciple, he who heard My Little Pony first. So that would be our best epithet combo. I did take a look at all of them. I worship Stop Hitting Yourself, and the Disciple is Sephiroth, Weed Lord Goku 420. So that is our awesome naming convention that we've gone with here. So yeah, Pan is the god. We originally tried it with the lizards as the god, except unlike Pan, lizards don't just get free expansion with these scales, so I had extreme difficulty breaking out of my cap and actually doing shit. So we flipped it around, so we don't get the AIDS Dominion. Or actually, no, I think that's local to me, my stuff anyway. I don't know. I'll have to check on it and see. But we don't get AIDS Dominion. Instead, we just have bullshit assassins coming out of both of them. And then this guy. So this guy, his purpose, his reason for existing is that with buffs, he should be able to, in friendly Dominion, fight any other team's bullshit. I should be able to handle... He should be able to handle Ashdod's Sacreds. He should be able to handle Nazca Mictlan's Sacreds. Elves, obviously, although with elves you just have the issue of trying to catch the bastards. That's why he's got the air magic, so he can cloud trapeze on top of them. And then he starts with water earth. Earth is obviously generally useful for a super combatant. And I pumped the spare points into water, so that's pretty much what he's doing. He's kind of like a ghetto Drakon, so he's got the innate regen, and with the regen bless, he's got 20% base, which is very high regeneration rate. He's got fear, he's got every kind of resistance, and significant amounts of shock resist, which will be useful if there is any obnoxious high air... Actually, you know, I should check Nazca. I assume either Nazca is going to be a god. No, I bet you it's Miquelin who's the god with his free bless points, and then Nazca has like an A10 bullshit guy to summon 26 contours a turn or whatever. Let's look and make sure that's what actually happened here. Or that's what we would have done. I don't know what they did. Maybe they have some other hidden strat. Jay Breton and I mostly played Something Awful with our goofy Something Awful meta. Say what? So Miquelin is not the god, so they chose not to go with the free bless points. Huh? Okay. So they're not going Condor abuse. So Condors are scaling Sacred that Nazca gets with Air. So if you take an Air 10 God, you get 26 of them for 8 Air Gems. And if you take a Meme Bless, namely the ones that we usually see are Thunder Weapon's Quickness, and then either Luck, Twist Fate, or Fate Weaving. And Fate Weaving is mostly because then you don't have to buy luck and you can tank your scales a little more. And because Fate Weaving gives you, it's kind of like resistance penetration because they get negative rolls against their defenses, which includes resistances. So if you took, like what we have, the Fire Shock Bless, Fire Shock Resistance, with Fate Weaving, the effect of that Bless is significantly reduced. And you can stun and Thunder Weapons people through Shock Fire Resist Bless a little better. It's still not ideal, but it makes anything with a brand is pretty good under that. So anyway, let's go ahead and see what we got here. So obviously it's cartographic revision map. Lol. So I would have to look at it in the map editor, but what Carter likes to do is, like midway between players, it likes to place large provinces or farm provinces. And sometimes large farm provinces. These look like actually they're fine. He's got lots of, it looks like farms and stuff, but they're like hybrid farm mountains, and they don't look like large provs. I bet you this prov right here is probably rich. And I think that's the way we're going to expand. We're going to expand this away, because these are like clear open provs. Because obviously your main goal when you're choosing expansion direction immediately is gold income. So my candle did spread there, so we're going to blind expand because I'm brave. Okay. And we'll do air shield, attack close, and he should have no issues killing whatever happens to be in that province. And then for research, normally you would spam right down for enchantment 5 or alteration. I'm going for alteration because alteration will unlock mist form, quicken self, temper flesh, iron skin, all these things that he needs. And then when you get to 4, you can swarm with empoisoners. Both of those things are good. Speaking of, I'm thinking we'll get another empoisoner because they're inexpensive. And we'll get a whole bunch of these. How much was that? 37. So normally you wouldn't worry too much about your sacreds. You'd usually recruit them, well, at least the way I play them, you would recruit them anyway because my default lizard god is the Devourer of Souls with Hardskin, which if you add Hardskin on top of lizard base prot, it's actually pretty thick and sturdy. So these guys would be very high prot. And very hard to kill. Instead of super high prot, these guys are going to have like Blood Vengeance and super resistances and regeneration, which is also very good. So we'll go ahead and do that. These I'll probably send with my starting army. This I will not send immediately. I'll probably make 2 priests next. Or maybe 1 priest. I don't know. I think it'll depend what we took. So if we took a prov over here, that makes... No, we'll make 2 priests, I think. We'll see. Whatever. We'll see. So yeah, it's my first term stuff. Here we got Beast Brother. That is pretty trash. But I will min bid +1. Just because, what if there's a province with like 3 guys in it? I could send them at it and they might win. If I have a very low pop, like if this is super low pop over here, because it's mountain waste, so it's probably shit. If it's got like 3 people in it, I can send them down there and they'll maybe win. Or I can augment My very shitty lizard army. The starting army for these guys is abysmal, which is why you need an awake. We'll see if I get anything any good to throw them at. Or if I even win them. I mean, it's not the best. Oh yeah, so our scales, you obviously, as a disciple, you don't get your scales immediately in your cap. They have to spread. So here's our scales. We've got Turmoil 1, Sloth 2, Heat 3, Growth 3, Misfortune 3, Drain 1, which is kind of hefty on the Bless, just because we wanted to be able to counter a lot of the other bullshit that other people are doing. And I think that our combination, although it's not ideal for any particular one, should work relatively well for everybody. And Blood Vengeance as a whole is pretty useful to fuck up people doing evocations and stuff at you. And neither Sotis or Pangea are really evocation nations, so it doesn't affect us too negatively to have Blood Vengeance rolling. Or at least it shouldn't. My guys will be scale spamming mostly. Pan's guys are going to be dropping Wooden Warriors and Swarms and Howls and lots of bullshit Dryads shenanigans and Assassination Phase, and neither one of us is going to be throwing fireballs or things. Off script, obviously, you'll have guys doing like Vine Arrows and shit. And there will be at least a few mages who will probably self-own in such a manner, but it shouldn't be a big deal. So yeah, the only negative of my nation, which if you could even call it a negative, I don't have a scout. Instead, all I get is a starting mage, which, you know, I'll take that trade. We've got, actually, he's going to have to get this. He doesn't have any fort or any forest immediately in his cap circle. He didn't even start in a forest. So I guess he's going to need to grab one of these real quick so we can get Black Harpies and get our scouting up. He does start with one, but Pan wants forests very badly so they can Temple Lab them for Hierophants and to make Black Harpies. I assume we're going to... I don't know if there might be like somebody up here. If not, we're going to be fighting over shit. But he should at least be able to grab that one. Maybe some of these. If he can grab like all three of these, he'd be set. But we shall see. I assume Vanheim is going to be over here. Around this coastal shit, since it likes to spawn them as a coastal nation, because that's what they are. So I may have to deal with that bullshit, but I'm not concerned. It's actually not terrible for me, because I can take all these water provinces at some point with the Mighty Worm. And if he tries to do annoying shit at me, well, I'll deal with it. So yeah, that is the turn. Hopefully this game ends up relatively interesting. If you look down in the description, you will see all of the other players listed, and their YouTube things all linked there as well. So you can see the game from the perspective of multiple players. So you can observe as either myself or someone else does something absolutely retarded, which I'm sure will happen pretty quick, and get owned in glorious detail. So yeah, that is the turn. Turn 2. So we've got our blind expansion, and it is into heavy cavalry. We should be okay though. We got a lot of life and double regen, so of course. Okay. So in test games, it had no afflictions after 12 turns. In the real game, the first time it takes damage, it is afflicted, even though it's got like huge affliction reduction chance due to 20% regeneration. Okay, that's fine. Next, Wolf Tribe. I'm a little concerned about doing that one, because these guys are gonna go into this, I think. And that will be fire close, and you will be, I guess, attack close. Sure. Like that. And then this will be research. So, 30 Wolf Tribe. So, I'm guessing like 10 or 15 of those will be actual Wolf Tribe. And that is so freaking obnoxious that he already got affliction. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna trust in the test game, even though I've already been kicked in the balls. We're gonna trust. So I'll go here. Oh, what a weird ass shape. That's not usual. I didn't notice that. I haven't seen Cardo generate a choke like that. That's a pretty severe one. So I guess this province is one to hold, since that is a complete choke into everything from this direction. Okay. We're only at 16 RP, so I do at least have that. And we should make one of these instead. So I have a commander. And we'll make a Haradul and a Shaman. These. I think that'll work. And I doubt I'm going to get mercs. Mary bought the mercs. Bandar Band is not good. But do I want to buy them anyway? Do I have enough gold? I think if I like canceled bids and stuff, I could have enough gold to attempt it, except none of these are particularly good with Bandar Band. I could try them here. They would probably win there, but that's a shitty swamp. It's probably not worth much. Yeah, oh well. I think we'll skip Bandar Band, and we'll just make our cool Sacreds, which normally you don't see very much of. Sacred Guard are actually pretty decent. They've got 2 attacks, lots of HP, high prot. You only get 1 per turn. Obviously, they're limited 1. However, you do get to make these swamp cards, which are extremely mediocre. They do at least have 13 HP, so I get regen 2. They've got decent prot. Their stats are kind of shit, but they're cheap, so and hit hard enough, so I'll make them anyway. So yeah, that is turn 2. Turn 3. So we've got first, this is my mighty lizard starting army, finally engaging in combat. It's not very good. It does have, god damn it, I targeted those guys. So it does have a little bit of ranged, mostly just to inflict incidental damage and try and generate morale checks, which I don't even know if they managed to do that. Okay, well they got the poisons going. So that should help. So the AI should route pretty easily. Yeah. And there's those. And then we're gonna creep up at lizard speeds. I don't know how many bullets these guys have. 12? Well, they should have. Why are they? No, you fuckers. Don't go into melee. You're expensive. I think it's just the javelins could pull them into melee. But whatever. I lost 2 of them. That sucks. Next. Battle in Cracklands. So how many is this? It's like, yeah, like 12 or something. So it should, yeah, they routed. And he's fine. Okay. That's how it's supposed to be. Because he's like, he's got fear, he's got blood vengeance, he's got 20% regeneration. He should not be having any trouble. Then we've got Pan doing his first expansion. So handful of white centaurs plus starting army. Straight into the large pile of shit over here. Hopefully he doesn't get HP routed by a centaur. That would be annoying. Even if he does, I think the berserk white centaur would win. And no. He did not. What did he lose? He lost some starting army stuff. And no white centaur, of course. So, yep. Let's see what we can do next. So I don't have any good candle spread, unfortunately. I'm afraid of trying to actually do most of these. Okay, I think we're going to send this guy up with him. He still has his 10% regeneration. and he's still very spooky. So he'll do fire close, attack close, and you will do attack close as well. What is your combat speed is 10. These guys are 8, so he'll be slightly ahead of them. I think that's okay. It's mostly militia and shit. And down here, we're going to go ahead and preach a little bit. Try and get our little candle up, and we got one commander point, and let's get another Haradul. And then we're also going to... So we need another one of these. And then some more of these. And I think that will give me enough for an expansion force, because then I'll have... Oh, that'll be more than enough for expansion. I'll take them all together, that way I don't attrition as badly. And then we'll get another... Well, let's see if we can get a regular commander. There we go, much better. And a scout. So I don't know where we're going to put our fort down. Nothing particularly... No particularly great spots. I don't know. It'll be a few turns so I can afford it. Before I can afford it anyway, so we'll push it. And then what do we got? So we're getting there with Alteration 1, which I don't think Alteration 1 actually has anything. We've got Aim, Equalize, yeah, none of those matter. Alteration 2 does have Quicken Self. Alteration 3 has Iron Skin, which is plus 3 prot, and Misform, and those are the two important ones that I would rather like to have. And then Alteration 4, the only reason we're continuing onto there is because we already have level 3 for the buffs, and 4 provides yet more buffs, namely, it's got, no, not Evocation. Alteration 4 has a Liquid Body and Temper Flesh, and I think I'll actually do Liquid Body instead of Temper Flesh for even more affliction reduction. That also gives you physical resistance. I don't need the 5 fire res, so I'll just Liquid Body. And then it also gives you Swarm for Empoisoners, which is generally useful. So this turn we're getting a Lizard Shaman and a Hierodule. The Lizard Shaman is mostly so I can send him out and Lab Temple my first fort, which I don't even have a site chosen yet, because we're not looking terribly rich here. However, I think it might be okay we might just do this one right here. That looks like it'll be fine. It's decent enough income. I don't give a single shit about what kind of troops are in there, because I'm never going to make any. I have no Amazon province, I have no high gold province, so we're not going to worry about any of that stuff. Mercenary wise, oh, nobody bid the Bandar Band, so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and bid +1 on the Bandar Band and see if we can get them. I could bid over here too, I'm not going to. We'll also be able to grab some of these water provinces. I assume there's going to be Vanheim or somebody down here, since they do have the coast start, so that's probably why it gen these. What else? I think that's really it. So our expansion's going okay. I'm still annoyed at the Never Healing Wound we popped, but it's okay. Not the end of the world, as long as it's not something terrible like a chest wound, which would be really difficult to deal with this early, because I have no Reinvig booster to stick on him. I don't have the research to stick one on him, and I don't have any ability to ever like Blood Feast or get rid of it, so that would be bad. So hopefully he doesn't pop that before I can get some better buffs on him. So yeah, that is a turn. This turn we're gonna get this, just one prov. I don't think this one can solo anything else around it. I mean, they could maybe solo that, but if I'm sending him in by himself without any of his Bless active, I don't want him to get owned, so we'll just give him friends. And then after that I can take this guy and pull him back and pick up some Sacreds along with the one Hierodule, and probably go expand some more. I'll probably try and grab... I'm thinking maybe this province next, because that one looks easy. Wolf Tribe or Lion. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'll pick one and go for it. And then we will see what's happening next. So yeah, that is the turn.